So a question that I get asked often is, what options do I have if my ex-spouse is not following our agreement? The answer is always simple. You go to court, you file a motion to enforce, or if appropriate, you file a motion for contempt, right? In the settlement agreement, we are going to be dealing with the issues of alimony and mostly equitable distribution, all right? Sometimes alimony is waived, sometimes is awarded. But if your spouse is not complying with the alimony award or the equitable distribution, then you simply go to court. You have to look at the settlement agreement for what it is. It's a contract between two individuals. Just like any contract that you would enter into as an adult, if you don't comply with that contract, you can expect the other party to sue you. Well, it's the same thing. If your ex-spouse is not complying with that agreement that they had entered into, then you take them to court. You file a motion to enforce. Okay? It's not difficult. You'll be surprised how many times I have clients or prospective clients think that this is more difficult or complicated than it is. All right? And it's not. Why is it not complicated? Because the judge is bound by the four corners of the agreement. You better hope that your agreement doesn't have any ambiguity, because the judge cannot resolve that ambiguity. That's where an experienced attorney can really help, because when the contract, that settlement agreement is being drafted, a really good lawyer is going to approach it from the angle of, if this goes to court in the future for enforcement, will the court understand what the parties are intending with this language? And a lot of times in my agreements, I'll put specific examples so that in the event of an enforcement, the judge can see, oh, okay, I understand what they're trying to accomplish here. And then the court can enforce it, right? The court cannot go outside of the agreement. If the agreement says the husband or the wife shall pay X amount within X amount of time, if that person does not comply with that, the judge can't say, well, it's okay, I'm gonna disregard it. Or it's okay, I'm gonna give you an extra year or two to pay that off. No, the judge is forced to enforce the four corners of the agreement. The judge cannot go outside of it. The judge cannot redo the agreement. The judge cannot interpret the agreement however he or she wants. All right, the judge is gonna be forced to do it. I have done so many motions to enforce in my career, and I can tell you the vast majority of them are handled in under an hour. And the vast majority of my motions to enforce, like the one that I just did last week, it was taken care of in 20 minutes because the attorney and I resolved the case, the issue, without even having to go to court. Why? Because the attorney was an experienced family lawyer like myself who knew, hey, I have no chance of winning this in court. Let's talk, let's negotiate, and let's resolve this without getting the court involved. And that's what we did. So when we went to court, it just took 20 minutes to just hash out the language, and that was it. The judge did not have to make any rulings. So a motion to enforce is not difficult. It's simple, it's straightforward. You have to make sure that you're complying with it, but if your ex-spouse is not, you better take that person to court. Don't be like my client who waited years before she finally went to court and won. She could have won years ago and had her money years ago. All right? Don't wait. Call an attorney and make sure that you take your ex-spouse to court so that you are awarded what is in the agreement. Until next time, this is attorney Antonio Jimenez with Florida Divorce Law Group. Thank you for watching.